I'm here with me, all 6, 7, my wife's here now, and I don't look at the money part anymore. I do look at employees as they're an asset to me. They help my company, and man, it's taken 10, 11 years to figure that out. And finally, it's like the light bulb just clicks. Once it clicks, if you can hold on to one employee for a few years, you're going to be able to get the next person and keep going.
Can I add to that, Chairman? I'm sorry. As a business owner, you guys have got to be able to analyze the people that come into your company. That's your responsibility. You've got to be able to understand what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, because there's going to be winners and losers that you guys bring into your business, and you've got to be able to pick and choose, get them in or out of your company really fast, right? I grew up with an understanding that if you give a man a rope, he's going to do one of two things with it. He's going to either climb up that rope or he's going to hang himself with it. And if you've got a guy that's not willing to climb up that rope, then you've got to cut him out. Or you've got to limit and cap where he's at, and you can't put more responsibility on a man than he's willing to take on himself. So finding good employees is probably one of the hardest things that we face inside of the industry. Now I learn every single day. And a guy taught me something that he stole a couple of my employees. He stole one of my better employees just the other day. And I says, well, what's the deal? And he came to me and he said that he has almost a 0 turnover rate. And this is one of the things that we struggle with. I said, how do you do that? And he says, I offer health care and it costs me $1 an hour. That was his words. And I said, what do you mean? Tell me a little bit more about this. This is something I'm going to share with all of you guys because I just learned this yesterday. What he does is he does a matching healthcare plan inside of his company. So if he's charging, if they're willing to pay $1, he charges $1, right? Or he pays $1. So the short gist of it is he's paying about $160 a month for healthcare, $1 an hour, right? 40 hours a week. They're paying $160 an hour, but he's not retraining people. And so this is one of those things that I'm going to start to look at implementing. We used to offer healthcare. We kind of cut that out. That may be one of those strategies that separates your business from everybody else out there. And to talk about what Brian said, another thing that you guys need to do is tie the individual people that are in your business, their dreams to your business, because it's not about money. A lot of times it's about, hey, I want to get my daughter to school. Well, I want my daughter to be able to go to college. All right, well, how about if we start a college fund and we put money into that fund for you? Those little nuances, when they feel like they're invested, you're vested in them, they're vested in you, they're not going to go anywhere. You're going to have less turnover. And that's probably one of the hardest things we face. It's not just recruitment, but finding a good guy and keeping a good guy. So those are some of the strategies that you can start to use.
Do you also feel like being positive in the owner of a business, being on a mission, having goals, wanting to better improve the business, higher quality work? Like I feel like sometimes you see like the bosses, they're just like, we need to do this, this, and this, and like just are always like trying to beat it into the employees. And I just don't believe
you got to empower your people.
Exactly.
You've got to create an atmosphere because people, this is where they're spending a majority of their life. They spend more time inside of that business than honestly they do with their own family. So you've got to create an environment that makes them want to go to work, because then when you need somebody, you're going to go to your team and say, we need somebody, and guess who's going to be recruiting for you? People are going to be knocking on your door trying to get in because your employees are talking about how awesome your organization is. I know companies that are like that. Sorry.
I have a training tip that blew my mind this year. We have the best team we've ever had. I heard this thing about training and I resisted it. In 2016, when my wife was in the office working and she came out in the field with us and worked a few times, it was awesome, by the way. She didn't like it. But she recognized something. She goes, Keith, you don't have any systems. No wonder the guys are screwing up and you're coming home stressed out. You don't have, there's no structure of what to do. And she's so right, and I resisted it. And I'm like, you know how when somebody tells you something and you just resist it. So basically, absolutely. So I heard basically, and I tried it. I got so frustrated that I actually tried this thing and it worked. So upon hiring the new guys that work for me this year, I set a vision. I said in Kelf's professional services, it's all about the client and making the clients happy. Like we want when the clients come outside and we do the final walk around and knock on the door and they look at the property, it's like perfect. Like wow, amazing. Like put that vision in their head of the final result of like it's all about customer service. We are literally the best. We have the most positive reviews in the whole city, and we do 5-star work and talk about that. And then when training them, it's something as simple as putting weed barrier, fabric, decorative stone, installing shrubs. I'd say, and this is what I learned that I resisted. All right, stand there. You're getting paid. Just stand there and watch. Watch me teach you how to do this. You don't have to do anything. Just relax and learn. And I would sit there and teach them how to plant the first shrub and explain why, the depth, amending the soil, how to do it, and then do it perfectly. And I say, this is why I'm doing this, and teach them. Now the next thing is you're going to plant the next one, and I'm going to watch you do it. Stan knows all about this. And then you do it, and then don't like jump in and try to fix it when they're messing up. Let them trip on themselves. And then after they do it, you get them do it. And I say, you teach me how to do it. Now they teach you how to do it. When they're doing that, their confidence is growing, and there's accountability trigger that happens in their brain. Now you go grab Joe. Hey, Joe, quit shoveling. Come over here for a minute. Now, Bob, I want you to teach Joe what you just learned. Teach him, and now you stand back. What happens is like this thing happens in their brain. Now their confidence goes up, and they feel good about it. I watch guys literally, like, I used to get so pissed off that that these guys are like, are they stupid? And I realized it was all my fault. Now that I had a training system in place, I literally watch these guys literally learn how to do this stuff in like 1 to 2 weeks. They're becoming masters at trimming shrubs and planting stuff and laying mulch and everything I want them to do just by letting them do it and creating a training system. Does this make sense? Like, I literally can leave the job site now and I come back and everything's beautiful because I took accountability and taught them how to do it.
Hey, one of the guys that you watch and listen from is Josh Latimer. And you introduced me to him at your conference last year. And Josh Latimer at your conference said, everybody's got a system. It's just up here. And you gotta get it out on paper. That way you can start teaching it to you guys. And it might be video, it might be an employee handbook, manual and handbook. But everybody's got a system. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. Let's move on to the next question. This one right here.
Yeah. Hey, my question was more around retention. So you guys are talking about hiring. We're a seasonal business. For me, I restructured my services. So I'm doing mulch in January. Nobody's doing that in my area. And then I go and do fence cleanups and stuff like that. So I'm restructuring because I want to be able to have somebody be employed all year long. Because employees aren't going to save their money. I didn't do it for several years. How can I expect them to do it? So what are some of the things you're doing to either keep it a full season, or how are you handling layoffs and stuff like that?
All my guys are part-time. You guys know that, so I'll let these guys answer that.
I got 3 guys that work through the season, and then we have snow. They get laid off, and then they collect unemployment, and then they're just on call during the winter, and it's always been that way in our company and in our business. They collect their unemployment and just stay on call, for the winter months, and then they come back springtime. We get going full time again.
So everybody's different geographical location, right? For us, it's snow plowing, but I know tree companies that don't want to do any snow plowing because the equipment, when they buy the equipment, right? You're going to pay 365 days a week or 365 days a year for that piece of equipment. So can you dual purpose a piece of equipment? Like for us, I buy everything for winter work, right? And that's my main line of business. I want to make more money in the winter because it's a strategy. I'm flipping the script on it. If I can make my most money in my off season, you know what? I'm going to make more money in my on season. So I hyper concentrate on what can I do to absolutely dominate my off season so that when it's the on season, it's just cruise control. Now, like a tree company, you guys may not have loaders and trucks. trucks and stuff like that, that you can go out and do what I do, but I know a tree company that does Christmas lights and kills it. Flipping kills it. Dude makes 20, 40 grand in a single month. He actually shuts down his tree business mid-October. He selectively does tree work. But he does tree work, 10 and a half months out of the year. So there's things that you've got to look and I don't ever want you to reinvent the wheel, right? I just want you to do what somebody else is doing, just do it more successfully than they do it.
Hey guys, I want to thank you all for coming out. I know it's been a long morning here. We're going to all kind of be still hanging around, so if you guys have more questions that you want to ask these guys one-off, I know our time is precious, and I don't want you guys to miss out on anything else this day, the final day of GIA.